regulations, and that's the topic that I want to start with here. Regulations on cryptocurrency and what that really means for the future. And whenever you mention regulations when it comes to any industry, people freak the hell out, right? Regulations, big government getting involved. They're going to put restrictions on things and probably tax it to hell and all this craziness, right? And yeah, all that's probably realistic, but in cryptocurrency, it's a very unique situation. And here's a reason why. In cryptocurrency, we have been living in a world of the unknown. We don't really know what the government's thoughts are on it, specifically in the U.S. If you're watching from another country, I mean, I got it, right? But in the U.S., we don't really have a clear guidance on what cryptocurrency is, how it will be regulated, what sort of tax is going to be involved, and things like that. We've really been just winging it, guys. Like, we've been winging it. And the IRS comes out with different guidance every year on how they're going to tax it this year. And the SEC comes out and puts out what's called a safe harbor, on where they promise not to touch it for 3 to 5 years or whatever that may seem. But there's not any real clear and consistent guidance on what's going on. And so because of that, it's a very risky space. And when I mean risky, I'm talking the government could come in tomorrow and decides that they're just going to shut the whole industry down. If you're an American citizen who has cryptocurrency, you have 30 days to get rid of it, or you're going to jail, right? This is very realistic stuff that does happen in other countries. And so because of that, it's extremely dangerous. It really, really is. So regulations are the government stepping in and acknowledging that this is a industry that we want to be involved in. We want to make sure it's managed correctly. And when we do so, when they do come in and set those clear guidelines and clear left and right limits, that makes it to where these people who are afraid of getting into crypto because they don't know if it's legitimate or not, this gives them legitimacy to the entire industry. Now, you may be thinking small investor, mom and pop, grandma or whatever, right? Telling that Bitcoin's a Ponzi, it's a scam, yada, yada, yada. I get it, right? I'm not worried about them. Honestly, I'm not, because grandma and next door neighbor doesn't have the money. But who has the money are these massive corporations and these massive hedge funds and these massive trading firms who manage billions and billions of dollars of capital. And they are avoiding cryptocurrency because it's considered too high of a risk asset, not because of the volatility, but because the government could step in and one day just say, hey, the whole thing's shut down and we're done. That's it. And that's terrifying, right? It really, really is. And so when the government comes in and declares something and says, hey, we're going to heavily regulate this, but we're going to allow it, that now allows other people to also step in, and these other massive investors to also step in and bring in their billions and billions of dollars of people, of funds into this. Now, it's not just the hedge funds and things like that. Whenever Elon Musk came out and he filed a document with the SEC, basically stating that his intentions were to convert 1% of Tesla's treasury into Bitcoin. 1% of Tesla's treasury into Bitcoin. This was the first time any major corporation has come out and made this sort of a commitment or made a sort of statement or whatever. And Bitcoin's price shot up, I think it was 10% in the span of 15 minutes after this got announced. It was absolutely insane, right? And that was only 1%, 1% of Tesla's treasury. And I know Tesla is a pretty big company now, but it really isn't even comparable to the likes of Amazon or Google or Apple. Imagine if they came out and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and put 20% of our treasuries as a hedge against the US dollar. Imagine what sort of incredible potential that could have. Like, insane. Or imagine JP Morgan with their $3 trillion hedge funds coming out and like having any sort of crypto assets as part of that hedge fund. Trillions of dollars. Like, insane. Okay? That's the potential we're looking at. But this cannot happen until there is regulations, until these guys feel secure enough to even add it on their books, because there's no way their shareholders are going to allow this. Now, you, me, all these crazy ass individual investors who only have to worry about maybe their mom or, you know, family giving them a dirty look for doing what we're doing, right? That's about the only people who we have to worry about. But it's really, really hard for any sort of CEO or a CFO to go into a board meeting and say this whenever the entire market, all they could lose every bit of it the next day when the US decides to ban cryptocurrency, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. So until this happens, we will never really have the full impact of the adoption curve of the adoption. And so that's how important it is. Like, it really, really, really is. I see there are some people on the channel now. So if you're watching, give me a little like thumbs up or something, so I know my audio is working first off. So I have no idea. I'm doing this in my vehicle's audio system. So if it's not working, please let me know. But let's see. So yeah, regulation. All right, awesome. Regulation is not a bad thing. It's not. Are we going to get more in taxes? I mean, probably. Is there going to be some sort of restrictions, like restrictions on how do we have to? I don't know, guys. It could be on like how we report it and things like that. Sure, but if you're new to crypto, you're going to learn very, very quickly. The reporting requirements for crypto right now is absolutely asinine. You have to file every single transaction you make on a cryptocurrency on your tax statement. Every single one. So that means if you go out there and you transfer a portion of Bitcoin into Ethereum or Ethereum into US dollars or whatever, every single time you have any transaction, that has to be reported by line. That's a lot. Just to give you an idea, last cycle, I think, or last tax season, I think I had to file around, I want to say 5,000 transactions. 5,000 transactions. I promise you, whatever the hell they want to come up with will be tremendously easier than that. We have to buy software in order to take care of all of our transactions that you make if you're a trader, because even if you go in there and you convert some fiat into cryptocurrency, or cryptocurrency into fiat, or cryptocurrency into another cryptocurrency, all that has to be reported, and it has to be reported line by line. And a lot of times, if you go and market sell or market buy, you're gonna have several order get filled. So you'll have like 5 or 6 different people get their order filled for that one transaction. So that one transaction actually becomes like 6 transactions. So it's a total shit show right now, guys. And until like we do get some clarification, these guys are gonna stay the hell away from it. So yeah, like I've discussed with you guys, if you've watched my guides up to now, you know the amount of potential that the altcoin market has. And you also can understand how far behind we are on the adoption curve, because we really, really are very far behind the adoption curve right now. I know like Bitcoin's valuation is around $1 trillion. I know that's a lot, but something else you got to consider is market cap is not the same as actual value. It's not the same. It's the closest thing we have, but even though there's $1 trillion of market cap, if someone instantly sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin into the market would drop a lot more than just 0.1%. It would drop tremendously more than that. So that goes to show you that there's not actually $1 trillion in the market. It's actually substantially less, but the total supply by the current price is the only value that we can currently assess with it. So that's just something to consider as well, is that there's a lot more money that could be involved in this market if this did exist. Let's see. You guys have any specific questions you want to ask or whatever? Obviously, I can't chart anything, but anything in general, I don't know, guys. Like where I came from, how I started trading, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I hope I've been able to prove myself as being competent and I'm not a dumbass here. I think I know what I'm talking about for the most part. What else? Let's see. So yeah, regulations, that's a big part of why I wanted to have this. I just want to really make sure you guys understand that regulations are not a bad thing. They're a good thing. You should be embracing them, because even though we will have some sort of not necessarily punishment, but like there will be some sort of a regulation that's going to make it harder on us originally, it's going to allow for these institutional investors and companies and all this other craziness to get involved. So it actually is very, very important. Let's see. What else? I guess the other thing I can go into is you guys, I'm going to go ahead and probably end it. I think that's really what I want to go over in this particular video. But if you guys have any questions, like always, let me know. So I will let you go. Bye.